What's up YouTube, Seth back with Lost Legion TCG, here to do a Salamangreat deck profile. I've been playing Salad semi-religiously lately. I've played it at the last couple tournaments I've entered. I've actually won 2 or 3 locals in a row with this deck, so I thought I'd put it on camera and show you guys my list. So we'll kick things off with the main deck here. I play 3 copies of my favorite Salad monster, Flame Buffalo. Buffalo, when it leaves the field, you pitch a Cyberse for effect and draw 2 cards. Your other normal summon is 2 copies of Foxy. I don't play Lady Debug. You can tell me I'm wrong for that if you want. I prefer Buffalo. I play a dedicated going first build, so I just feel like the card advantage off of Buffalo is just better. Just digging into my deck for my power cards is better than guaranteeing that I see Gazelle. Next up is 2 copies of Spinny, 2 copies of Jack Jaguar. These are the 2 ofs of the Salad lineup. Spinny's a pretty standard member. Jack Jaguar shuffles 1 back from grave to come back. So they Jack Jaguar helps you manage your resources, and Spinny's just a free body. Plus an attack boost that actually did come up in the last tournament I played in. We play 1 copy of Mole. Mole is a free summon and a Pot of Avarice for the deck. Most people don't play this card. I don't know why. I think the card's great. Our 1 Gazelle. We'd play 3 if we could, but we can't. And then 1 Foul for the last Salad name. I don't play Falco, which again, a lot of you might tell me I'm wrong for, but it's never come up. The only time I would ever want it to come up was if I could bounce the Gazelle back to summon it, but I play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. I find that this card is just incredible going first. If you draw it, it's a free interruption for your opponent to have to play through. I play 3 copies of Ash. It's the most generic, kind of all-encompassing hand trap, and it hits the most rogue, which, let's face it, locals are full of rogue. We're main decking 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Shout out to my good friend Jules here for putting me onto the main deck Drolls. I was playing Ghost Bell, but Droll just hits hard right now. It hits dinosaurs, it hits invoke strategies. The card's just really good. 3 copies of Signet Mining, your main searcher in the deck, and then our other searcher is Salamangreat Circle. You should know what these cards do. If you don't, Mining pitches a card for cost to add a level 4 or lower Cyberse, and Salamangreat Circle adds a Salad monster, or it can also make one of your Link monsters unaffected by card effects. The second effect of Circle almost never comes up, but I don't want to say it never comes up because I feel like it has before. I played 2 copies of Will of the Salamangreat. This is Monster Reborn or Soul Charge. This card is incredible. It helps you extend into access code. It helps you play through cards like Nibiru. Play 2 copies of Pot of Desires. You can play 3 Desires if you want. When I play 3 Desires, I always draw into a 2nd Desires off of it, and that just hurts. 1 Monster Reborn as a superior extender, and 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary because it's required to play your deck. Into the spell cards, we play 2 copies of Rage, 2 copies of Roar. I play 2 of each of the Salad traps because I want to draw them. If I draw 1 of the 4 traps, I'm able to dump the other one with my Gazelle, and then I have access to 2 interruptions basically for free. We play 3 copies of Imperm. Imperm is like the best hand trap in the game. I still think this card's great. It fell off for a little bit, but Imperm now, it hits the Samorg Link, it hits Rogue Heavy, it hits the Anaconda. It's just a really good all-encompassing card. We play 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon's Prison is absolutely insane. This card just kind of auto-wins the Eldritch matchup if you draw it. And it's really good against a lot of rogue too. A lot of decks play mono-type. You can banish boss monsters and not have to worry about them. It's kind of all-encompassing. There are certain decks that you take it out against, but then that's a free side out and you just put in what helps you. And then 1 copy of Gravedigger's Trap Hole. Gravedigger's Trap Hole, you're generally going to send it off of Trap Tricks or Flasia to stop Nibiru because Nibiru does hit Salad really hard. That's it for the main deck. Into the extra, we got 3 copies of Salamangreat Balinks. Your link 1, this searches your field spell. You banish it from grave. It puts your name in to protect your stuff. It puts your names in grave to bring them back. Balinks is just an incredible card. 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf. This is probably the most recognizable salad monster. It's on 99 out of 100 end boards. If your salad hand can't get to Sunlight Wolf, then your hand was just awful, and you probably are going to lose, realistically. To round out the salad monsters in the extra, 2 copies of Heatleo. You don't have to play Heatleo. You could play like Unicorn and Phoenix if you wanted to, but Heatleo just, it spins back row. It has the attack reduction effect when you reincarnate link it, and it comes up. It's another link 3 that you can use to get into access code if your 1 copy of Transcode Talker gets interrupted. We also play 1 copy of Hita. This helps you get into your Transcode Talker or your Heatleo by stealing an Ash Blossom. And the off chance where your opponent has like a Nightmare Phoenix or something in grave, you can go straight into access code. We play 1 copy of Update Jammer. This is the card that gives your access code to attacks, and then the card we've been talking about for the entire extra deck, access code. Access code is your win condition. This deck is basically access code turbo. I go first to put up trap interruptions, and then turn 2 I explode into access code. That's going to be 5300 and can attack twice per game. And then I play 3 rank 4s. I play 1 Traptrix Rafflesia, 1 Abyss Dweller, and 1 Baguska. The only time you're going to go into any of these is if you draw Parallel Exceed. Baguska has won me multiple games. Traptrix Rafflesia eats Nibiru, and Abyss Dweller might not be the best card right now, but like I said earlier, our locals is full of rogue, so I play Abyss Dweller over like a more generic card, kind of like Nightmare Phoenix or something like that. I play Abyss Dweller because it hits dinosaurs really hard. There's a couple dinosaur players at our locals, and Abyss Dweller also hits Shadalls really hard, so that's why I play Abyss Dweller. A couple cards to consider for the deck are cards like Forbidden Droplets, things like that. I'm going to show a side deck, which we don't normally do, but the side deck here is important since I'm playing such a dedicated going first build that my entire side deck is dedicated to going second. To kick things off, we play 3 copies of Gamma-Seal. Gamma-Seal is the card that I was considering cutting for droplets, but Gamma-Seal actually came up in a Marincess matchup where they made their towers unaffected monster, and I just had to get rid of it. 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. This hits Eldritch, this hits Invoked, this hits Bird Up, and it hits Dinosaurs, along with any Thunder Dragon Chaos decks you might run into. A lot of people are playing decks like that. This card is also extremely good in your Earth Machine matchup. I don't know if people play that other places, but there are people at our locals that play it. 3 copies of Alpha. This is kind of our Dragoon killer. We play this and the Gamma-Seal to deal with Dragoon because this deck is kind of scared of it. Dragoon's one heck of a card. 3 copies of Nibiru. This is for your combo matchups. Nibiru is really good against a lot of combo decks. If you time your Nibiru right against Dragon Link, it can be impactful. If you time it right against Bird Up, the card is extremely impactful. Nibiru was probably a side deck staple forever at this point. And then 3 copies of Evenly Matched. At the cost of your battle phase, you get rid of all but 1 threat your opponent has. Staring down a back row board, it's kind of judgment or bust for them. Drawing Evenly Matched can just flat out win you rounds. It's an insane card. If your opponent doesn't have a judgment or a negation for it, it's just kind of game over. That's it for the deck profile. Leave us a like, a comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing, and we'll see you again.